welcome back to another An Old Man Watches. And today I'm going to be talking about Rocky Jones, Space Ranger from 1954. So this was originally a syndicated serial. They made 39 episodes in total. And I believe, and then they turned a bunch of, they were sort of like 3 episode story arcs. And they turned them into a bunch of movies, basically, by joining those 3 episodes together into one movie at a time. And what I've actually seen is 2 of the movies, Menace from Space and Crash of the Moons. So what is Rocky Jones Space Ranger? Well, basically, in the not-too-distant future, there's an Earth-based space police known as the Space Rangers, and they patrol the united worlds of the solar system. And protect it from danger. And Rocky Jones is a clean-cut, square-jawed hero and of the Space Rangers, and he and his crew blast off in their rocket ship, the Orbit Jet XV-2 or XV-3, depending on where you are in the serial. And despite facing incredibly dangerous odds in every single mission they go on, they are successful. Yay, good guys! And of course, equally, of course, in the finest tradition of TV science fiction, although they go to all of these strange worlds, the alien characters all speak American English and look like normal humans, just with weird costumes. Because, 1950s TV science fiction, basically. And for that matter, 1960s TV science fiction. Yeah, yes, Star Trek, I'm looking at you. So, what is there to talk about with Rocky Jones? What's it got? Well, you can find out for yourself if you like. I believe all 39 episodes are available on YouTube. If you have a hankering for this kind of stuff, but before you run off to do that, perhaps we should talk about is the show any good? No. Well, I mean, I'm being unfair. It's bland, formulaic, routine. These are probably all words, that are appropriate for it. Bad is probably too much. But we'll talk about some specifics, shall we? So first of all, cost benefit. So I've seen several sources on the web talking about this show that claim it was cancelled due to the high cost of the special effects. I've watched effectively 6 episodes of the serial, and I have no idea where the money went. If that's the case, it certainly wasn't on material for the show's token females' outfits, because they're all extremely short, probably considered quite racy for the 50s on television. And yeah, the effects, you're not going to be sitting there going, oh wow, these are pretty good for 1950s effects. You're going to be sitting there going, wow, that is hilariously bad, because they're not good effects. They do seem, and this I guess lends credence to the idea that costs were an issue. They do seem more ambitious in Menace from Space, which is the earlier set of episodes, than in Crash of the Moons, which is a later set of episodes, which suggests that they were certainly trying to do more early on and trying to do impressive special effects kind of stuff. But trust me, the execution of that ambition is sometimes hilariously bad. It was in some ways the most entertaining thing about Menace from Space was the ill-advised special effects that it included. The second thing to talk about is, look, Rocky Jones Space Ranger. He's not so Flash Gordon, basically. Like Flash, he's a square-jawed, clean-cut man of action. Like Flash, his crew includes an attractive female. Like Crash, it also includes an eccentric scientist who, serves as an ersatz Dr. Zarkov for the show. He's got his ersatz Dale Arden there, as well, as I already mentioned. He's got a femme fatale villain who secretly lusts for his clean-cut do-gooder bod, just like Ming's daughter in Flash Gordon. Though I have to admit, I don't know. Princess Allura, I'm not sure when she was introduced to Flash Gordon as a franchise. Maybe I'm being a little bit unfair to Rocky Jones there, but I suspect not. I suspect that Flash Gordon probably had an evil femme fatale well before this. The show does add a couple of extra characters, perhaps to conceal the obvious the obvious similarities. So there's a comedy co-pilot and a supposedly cute kid, because nothing says hero like taking a 10-year-old into terrible danger every week, after all. But yeah, it's the Flash Gordon heritage is really obvious here. And then finally, science. No, there's no science here. This is very much a fantasy show that happens to be set in space. The writers can't even bother to keep straight or worry about the difference between stars, planets, moons, constellations. They use them all interchangeably. They treat them all like they're the same thing, or whatever they need them to be that week. There's a lot of technobabble here from the Zarkov replacement to justify whatever specific, quote, science, unquote, applies for the particular storyline. It's all very hand-wavy and whatever we need in the moment. I'm usually willing to go along with such silliness. I mean, I watch the Fast and the Furious movies, and, they've never met a law of physics that they're interested in. But I'd like the show to be consistent in how it treats its own established law within a storyline. I could probably grin and bear it if they establish something in one serial and then they forget about it in another serial. But even within the serial themselves, there's a lot of hand wavy. Or they just forget things that they've established. So it's there's no rigor to the writing, and that is not uncommon in older science fiction, particularly science fiction made for television, where it was just whatever seemed cool, whatever we need to do to have the story finish, go in the direction we want. But it's to me, it's not terribly satisfying. So that is, definitely a feature of the show. So overall, look, you can watch it for free. Should you invest the time? 39 episodes at nearly half an hour an episode. You're talking about a whole day of, literally a whole day, or probably 3 days of watching it pretty much non-stop. Assuming you want to sleep and eat and all the rest of it, do all the rest of your life as well. So that's a big investment for the level of entertainment I think it actually delivers. So I would say, if you do want to check it out, absolutely do, because maybe you'll love it. You never know. You could. So that's Rocky Jones Space Ranger, and everything I had to say about it. Next time, I'm going to talk about Return to Oz, the very belated sequel to The Wizard of Oz, and a movie that did not do terribly well upon release, but which I think is actually a much better movie than its more famous predecessor. So we'll be talking about that next time. In the meantime, thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it, and catch you in the next one.